Hello twin flames, this is Victoria and I'm here with your daily energy check. Welcome to my channel and let's jump right into the reading today. Today is going to be a classic read but with some changes of the deck. Excuse me. So I will start with an angel therapy deck for the oracle message. So this will be a word of guidance, a word of advice for each twin. Then, of course, we'll go into the energies of DF, DM, and the connection. And at the end, I'll post the messages, but it will be with a tarot deck today. So we'll see what would the twins like to share at this time with each other. So, let's start with a card for Divine Feminines. No preview, no spiel today. I've already updated, I think, everyone in my last couple of videos on where I am, what's going on, so I won't be repeating it. The only thing I will repeat is that take what resonates for you from this reading, because it is a collective reading. If you're interested in a personal one, please reach out to me separately, but just be aware that not everything in this particular reading may resonate for you, and it's normal because we have a lot of stories, a lot of scenarios here playing out. Okay, so for Divine Feminines, we have mediumship. You have the natural ability to connect with departed loved ones. Yeah, so we all do have these skills to a certain extent, but this is a more specific skill, like with somebody who may be specializing in this or will be specializing in this. So if you felt recently or just generally guided to pay more attention to this is like very much a Pisces energy. Talking to the departed ones could just be talking to or calling in certain spirits for a conversation, right? Or for asking for advice. Then this is for you. But also another side of it is, even if you don't feel like it's something for you to do, generally speaking, the message then could be, and there is another message here, that for questions that you are interested in, you can get connected to a medium, to somebody who is a medium, a psychic medium, to get those answers or to get some information, especially if it is about your family members who have passed away, where you have some questions, you'd like to get more information. This could be a viable option for you. Okay, for masculines. We have base chakra or root chakra. Choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances, as your words determine your outcome. So at this time, this is a masculine chakra in general, right? It's very important how you tell your story, how successful you are, how good everything is, how happy you are, how grateful you are, right? It is very important. And even if you are wishing for something else, it's still important to recognize what you currently have as a baseline, somewhere, something or someone, or somewhere that provided you comfort and support, and you can grow from there, right? Any rituals that you may think of for the root chakra will be beneficial at this time. Root chakra is responsible, while I'm getting some messages for the energy of Divine Feminine. Root chakra is generally speaking connected to the feeling of safety and staying grounded, right? Like standing with your 2 feet on the ground, having that sort of sense of security. It's one of our base needs and wants, necessities in this life. And that's why it's actually the root chakra, right? Like the very base ground, right? Like it's yeah, you can't really build a happy life if you don't feel grounded, if you don't have that safety space, safe space. You don't feel like you're in a safe space. There you go. On the regular basis. Of course, we get out of our safe space from time to time, but there should be that baseline. We got King of Wands in reverse. I believe we had that for the feminines yesterday too. And Six of Swords. King of Wands, Six of Swords. Yeah, so what I'm getting here is Divine Feminine is right now focusing on her own mission or her own dreams. Very interesting how this star has an anchor. We're just talking about grounding and being balanced, right? Also about mediumship and how it connects to mission. So Divine Feminine is actually focusing on what her baseline is, right? What does she want to connect from the downloads, from the 5D realm into the 3D realm? What needs to be anchored at this time to bring her closer to the dreams, to the goals? And as much as a lot of it is connected or used to be connected with divine masculine energy and bringing union in, it's almost like there is this, and you see this, his chest is inflamed, right? It's like, which of course is another way of saying this is a twin flame, right? But I'm also seeing that DF is letting go of DM energy in a healthy way, right? Like, I'm not gonna focus on you right now. I know that you're doing your thing with that flame, with that drum, right? With that kind of like healing fire, right? You're doing your thing. Right now, we're supposed to, you can even see how like they are looking in different directions, right? I need to do me. I need to figure out certain things in my own life. So, you know, this is kind of like staying, not in the past, but in the background, right? It's like, yeah, I remember you. I know you. I love you, right? Like that connection, of course, is still there, but it's not in the foreground. It's not what DF is focusing at. She's focusing on how to ground that dream or that insight, that big piece of information into the physical. What do we have for the masculines? What is the energy like at this time? We got Ace of Cups. What else? Anything else? Okay. They just keep falling off. For once, but in reverse, actually. So guess what? This is a synchronicity, actually, because Divine Masculine is also saying, I know that this connection is beautiful and we will be together one day. They know that. They haven't given up on it. They haven't forgotten about it or about you, Divine Feminine, right? But they're like, okay, this is going to happen at some point in the future. But right now, that's not the focus. The focus for DM is filling up their own cup, right? Finding that excitement, that happiness, that inspiration for themselves. So that essentially, well, the self-love is kind of like something, you see, like she's hugging the cup, right? It's something that will keep them stable and in high vibrational space. But also it's this, to me, butterflies are the symbol of inspiration, right? It's something that they can also share with the world and feel better that way about what they bring to the table, how they see this world with the wondrous eye. You know, it's like wondrous meaning like with a sense of wonder. And it's also the energies I want to bring to the table in this union that is coming up in the future, right? They don't want to be skeptical or frustrated or just kind of like disenchanted with the whole idea of union, of love, of life partnership with the opposite energy, right? This is more like they want to make this a beautiful thing, right? Like, and they want to feel good about it. It's just that right now they can't, and they're figuring that out for themselves. What is it stopping them? What is preventing? For some, of course, it will be karmic situations, specific things like legalities. It could be another person, of course. Could be a job, could be some obligations. But for some, even that wouldn't be the question. And that's even a trickier point, because that's when they will be asking, but why? Like, nothing is stopping me right now. I'm unencumbered, I don't have things to worry about. I'm free, I'm single, right? Like, I'm doing well at my work. Like, what is it then? But something is like this invisible barrier, right? Because that divine timing isn't there yet. And there's still something to work through, even if it's internally, if it's an emotional level. It could be an emotional barrier too, right? So yeah, something for the twins to work on. Okay, energy of for divine masculine in this case, energy of the connection at this time. Emperor in reverse. And Page of Cups. Page of Cups in this deck is like this partying vibe. It's kind of like, emotions are going all around. They're happy emotions, but they're a little bit, they're flighty, they're ungrounded. They're kind of like, they are fiery to a certain degree, although this is water element, right? But they're like, they have explosive power, let's put it that way, right? It's like, imagine teenagers having a party with a few drinks, right? Nobody knows what's gonna happen because of these emotions and hormones, like all flying in the air and not being under control as much as probably somebody older would have, right? So on the one hand, the twins do not want to control this with the Emperor in reverse. They don't want to set very strict expectations and be self-centric in this connection, but they also want to have fun, and they want to be in this light-hearted space of like, ooh, let's see what happens. And there is definitely a good intention here, right? Like, be light and not worry too much about what's going to happen tomorrow. Why are we here and not there? Not being judgmental of what the other person says or how they behave in such settings, right? The only thing I would say is important to keep in mind is that there is still, like, letting go of your emotions, being more authentic that way is important. But a lot of times we may still lack awareness of our emotions and why they go into certain direction. And for the twin journey, it's super important to have a handle on that, to still be able to tell at any point in time, I'm feeling XYZ, and then go deeper and say, okay, because right now A is happening, because earlier in my life I had B happening, or because based on my character, I have C traits which manifest this way, right? It's still important to be aware. Okay, let's get some messages from divine masculine to divine feminine. What is on their heart and mind? What would they like to share at this time with their feminine? That was actually too many cards. Don't want to take them all. We have this one separated, just Page of Swords, another Page of Swords. Okay. Let's see. And Ace of Pentacles. So divine masculine is saying there's still a lot for me to learn, and I will keep trying. With every new cycle, I get better at managing my life, my job, my expenses, finances, changing my lifestyle in a very specific, tangible way that brings me closer to me, to us. But every time I start still see there's so much work left. It's a little discouraging, but I'm trying to be optimistic and just know that this is a learning curve and I'll get better. And I just hope that you will have enough patience with me while I'm doing it. Now let's get some messages from feminines to masculines. The Emperor. Yeah, that's how the feminines see the masculines actually. Now the card is Nine of Pentacles. Yeah. So this is the couple, right? And right now, what comes to DM's attention is that DM is portrayed as this. There are also kids in the background. That's interesting. As this, like the ultimate masculine energy, right? The wise leader, the head of the family, the father figure, you know, somebody who can be an example to others right now and for generations to come. So that's what they see, at least within the potential of divine masculine. And they're saying, like, I see you, I see how great, how awesome, how gorgeous you are. And even if you don't see it, I see it in you. And it's just a matter of time before you can see it too. And, you know, it's going to manifest in beautiful things in your life when you start seeing it. But in the meantime, I'm going to continue working on myself, right? Because we do, like, you inspire me to be a better version of myself, and my connection to the divine is doing that to me too. So I don't necessarily need to have a partner in the physical next to me to be able to thrive in life. I'm doing it on my own, and I know that divine is gonna show me new ways, new levels of how that will manifest, and how I can be joyful and happy with who I am, with what I do, and with those people who are around in this beautiful setting of mine. And this will only bring us closer, because when we see this beauty in ourselves, that's what will magnetize us to each other and will bring us closer and closer to union. Every time we do that, with every cycle, every experience, every pattern, every unhealthy pattern that we dissolve, and every healthy pattern that we bring in. Okay, I hope that this has been good for you guys. Thank you so much for being with me. I love you all, and I'll be back with more readings very, very soon. Bye, everyone.